Good afternoon. Welcome to our live stream. Today we are talking about generations. It's my little cue that we need to go live. So welcome to everyone who's able to make it today. If you're watching the replay, then welcome to you as well. I try to design my lessons so that you have the opportunity to use English in a way that is good for you. So we'll have idioms, vocabulary words, poll questions, trivia questions. I think trivia. We'll have lots of different stuff, conversation questions, so you can practice, you can get really involved in one specific topic. I cover one topic for the entire week, and then boom, next week we're on to the next one. Hello to you, Karina, dear, welcome. I see several other people are here, and Alessio, hello, Alessio. And if you don't already follow my account and you would like to, because you're looking for a place where you can practice, where you can come every week, where you know that this is a place where I'm going to learn something, be part of a nice community. English with Jenn 123 is a great place on YouTube to be every week, every Wednesday at this time at 3 p.m. Central European time. That's the time in Germany, if you want to look that up. So then let's go ahead and start with our lesson. The room is very echoey today. I don't know how that sounds. I have my microphone hooked up, so I hope it's a little bit better. But it's cold in here and very echo. I don't know if you can hear that. Anyway, so let me stop the banner and put a new banner and see what you have to say. Oops, hold on. And here is our first banner for today. How does being part of a generation affect a person? And maybe let's backtrack really quickly. What is a generation? For those of you who were not able to join us yesterday. Hello, Yuki dear. Hello, Serena. Hello to everyone. And a fifth person that's sort of not revealing themselves. We've got Carmen, we've got Yelena, awesome. Okay, Anna, sorry. Hello, Anna, sweetie. Okay, so being a part of a generation, all of you were here yesterday, so you know what a generation is. I'll just say it really quickly. It's usually a group of people that were born in around the same period of time. It's about a 10-year time period, 10 to 15-year time period. And so when we talk about being in a generation, hello, Abu Fazil, how does being part of a generation affect a person? So how does being part of a generation affect you? I have about 5 different things and ways that it could affect you. Maybe you can tell me what might be on this list. How does being part of a generation affect you? What do you think? Yuki, I just came home from shopping. I will watch while unloading my groceries. Okay, dear. Glad you made it. Perfect timing, sweetie. So, yeah. Hey, Kaluna, sweetie. Good day to you. So we have our first question for today. For those of you who are just joining, we have, how does being part of a generation affect a person? What can you say? I'll just throw one out there so you get a bit of a feel for what I mean by this. So technology use. Gen Z grew up with smartphones. They grew up basically with a lot of them grew up with having iPads and technology and stuff like that. Baby boomers grew up with learning how to use them. They knew what life was before. And that can affect a generation where you have this sort of duality, or where you only have the singularity, where you just have only technology. You don't really know what life was like before that kind of thing. So technology can definitely influence a generation. What other things can influence a generation? Or maybe kind of like another way of saying is define a generation. Perhaps that might be a different way. I would say that with also baby boomers, maybe in the United States, Vietnam War, because that was a time when they were young and where they fought against the government. Many people did, not all, to try to end that war. So war and the war can affect a generation and can define it in a way. I think with the generation before baby boomers, I think is the I don't have it here. Oh, I do. Yes, I do. The silent generation, growing up with World War II, for example, that absolutely defined a generation. They grew up with the Great Depression. They grew up with World War II, and then the aftermath of that can really define and explain a generation. Parenting education changes in different generations, definitely, right? We'll talk about that later for sure, Serena. Alessio, it can shape our values and behaviors. It can influence our choices. Kaluna, being part of a generation, affects a person through adjustments, especially on the trends in its era. Example, back in the days, communication was done through writing letters. Now messages through chats. Right. Yeah, just imagine you wrote a letter and it took a week sometimes to get to, not so far away. So yeah, absolutely. Now everything is instant. It changes the generation. It changes expectations. I think all of us have become less patient. Hey, Carmen Sweets. Today, young people do not want to have babies. Maybe 2 kids is enough. Yeah, maybe, and maybe not at all. Whereas maybe in previous generations, it would have been like, you're not having kids? Why? And today you're like, okay, yeah, I get it. So yeah, things have changed, most definitely. Other things that I have on my list are work and career attitudes, which we will talk a little bit more about later on. So what do you have, Kaluna? A lot of sickness nowadays because too much ready to eat foods, which are mostly not healthy. Children today mostly don't like vegetables, right? And they're not forced to eat it. So back in my day, if it was on the table, that's what you ate. Like extra dishes, no, I'm not in the mood for that. Mm-mm. You eat what you get. And yeah, I messed that up with my kids. Like, oh, you don't want that? Okay, I'll make you something else. Anyway, so work attitudes and career can totally change in different generations. I know that Generation X and baby boomers, we work really hard, especially in the States. And millennials and Gen Zs are more like, I need work-life balance. And as a Gen Xer, I don't understand that. It's like so foreign to me. It shouldn't be. Hello, Alex. Welcome, dear. So yeah, so it's interesting how these attitudes can shift between different generations. And like in older generations, more interested in having job security. Younger generations, not so much, right? We talked a little bit yesterday about generation with millennials, that is, switching jobs quite frequently. Boomers and also Gen Xers to a certain extent. You had a job, you stuck with it for your entire life, and that was good. And silent generation, even more so. Cultural references that also shapes us. What's cool yesterday in a different generation is not cool today. And sometimes that's good, right? All right. So communication styles, one last one. So younger generations don't really like calling someone. They prefer to text or maybe even to video call or something like that. And so, yeah. So lots of different things that we can think about how we can be affected when it comes to different generations. All right. So I have some vocab for you. This week I don't have a story, and I should probably say this while everyone's kind of here, that this weekend, tomorrow, I'm going to London, and I'll be gone the whole weekend, so I won't have time to do a lot of extra content this week. And then on Tuesday, we're flying to Africa. So I will go live with Mike on Monday. Maybe let's do a quick little poll, please. So all 13 of you that are here, don't go anywhere. I need to ask you a question. So on Monday, I will go live with Mike at 1 o'clock because Tuesday we fly. Normally I would go live with him on Tuesday and do a movie. Just so you all know in advance, we are going to do the movie The Notebook. So if you've not seen it, go ahead and check it out. It's a romantic film. So because of it's Valentine's Day, and I would like to add a second part of that live stream on Monday. So that would be Monday. What is the date? I think it's Monday the 2nd, I want to say. And I could either do a live stream directly after the one with Mike at 2 p.m., or I could do one at 3 p.m., which is kind of like a normal time on a different day. So maybe you could let me know in the comments, or maybe you say Mondays don't work for you at all. This sad movie, yes, yes. The younger generation usually arranges phone calls in advance. Yes, yeah. Okay, we're going to talk about that. So I'll just be quiet. So if you could let me know, if Monday works for you for a live stream here with me on YouTube, it would be the second half of our live stream about the Notebook. We will talk about love and all kinds of things, because this is a love story. At 2 p.m., it's too early for you. Okay, good to know. How about 3 p.m.? What's the movie title? Here, I'll write it in the comments. Thank you for asking. It's the one, isn't it Ryan Reynolds? Carmen, you probably know. You're always good with these things. So let me see. I think I need to. Yes. Hold on. I'm back. I don't know what I'm clicking here. Thank you. Monday is okay, but I prefer regular time. Okay, cool. Hey, Michaela, dear. Maybe you can let me know too. So the movie we're going to talk about next week is The Notebook. The Notebook. So if you want to see that in advance, oops, not with 3 O's, just two. Let's see, is 3 p.m. our usual? Yes, 3 p.m. is our usual time, exactly, Kaluna. So I could, on Monday, Kaluna and Michaela, I will be heading to Africa on Tuesday, so I will not go live. That means on Monday, I will go live with Mike. We're talking about the film The Notebook, as you see here. I'll pop it up here. And I will do the second half of our lesson. Unfortunately, Monday doesn't work. Okay, sorry, Yelena. Maybe you can watch the replay, and I will be off until around the 13th, 14th of February. 13th, I think, of February. Yeah, because I think I will have no Wi-Fi. I'm gonna go crazy. All right, no, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be really good. It's gonna be very healthy. Anyway, so the Notebook Monday. If you, the majority of you so far have said so. Yuki, you've said 3 p.m. is good. Kaluna, you've said 3 p.m. World Update, welcome to you. 26. How does Monday look for you? Yelena, you'll watch the replay. Monday, February 2nd at 3 p.m. Exactly. So this would be our live stream. If you decide this, we can decide this right now together, whoever is here. And I would let Hitoko know, because this is too late for her. So maybe that will work for her on Monday. So Monday, I will write this down. Monday at 3 p.m. YouTube live. Okay. And we'll have a lot of nice topics. It's a sad movie, but a nice movie, and a lot of things that will kind of be things that we can sort of play around with a little bit. And everybody loves talking about love. Remember when we went on a tangent like 3 months ago? Yeah, so we're going to talk about love. All right. But right now, let's get back to generations. Sorry about that little extra thing on the side here. And I have some vocabulary words for you. Yeah, that's why I got to it, because we will not have a story this week. I don't have time to create a shadowing exercise, so I left it. But that doesn't mean that we can't have slides and that we can't have new vocab words. And these are a nice group of words that are related to generations and talking about this kind of stuff. So here's our first slide for today. I will hop over to here, and somebody has written, so regular classes are good. Good. Okay, so on Monday, we will have our regular class, and then there'll be a bit of a break until February, which I hope you will all come back afterwards. I always lose people after these long breaks. I'm very cold today. My hands are ice cold, so I'm not trying to be like a little mouse here. I'm just very cold. All right, number 1, legacy. Number 2, peer group. 3, influence. 4, generation gap. 5, age group. And we have our definitions right here. So A, friends of the same age who spend time together. B, things passed down from one things passed down from the past. And 3, influence, sorry. C, people of the same age, but we're just talking about age here. And D, the power to affect some people. And E, big differences between young and old people. I'm under a heating blanket. Lucky you, I just have this very thick purple blanket right now. I'm so cold. Who's the little man near, the Maniki, Maniki, yeah. Oh, actually, I should not put that there because that's actually Peter. He would kill me because I put his face on this little thing that when it gets light, it moves around. So it's just my little joke, but he's very not like into social media. So anyway, so that's Peter, skeleton Peter. Maybe I can postpone my obligations for Monday and watch the live stream. Oh, Yelena, we would love to have you, but no stress, no stress. If you can make it, that would be awesome. If not, no pressure. Yes, he doesn't really understand why I would do that. I don't even know why I did that, but I just think it looks funny. I wish I could show you with his face. So he just like waves to me with his little face there. Anyway, all right, so we have number 1, Alessio saying B, Kaluna's got a B, Karina's got a B. Of course, it is B. Hello, Lorena, sweetie. Just to let you know, next week we will have the second half of our live stream, not on Wednesday, and there will be no quiz. It will be based on the movie The Notebook with Ryan Reynolds and Kate Beckinsale? I don't know, somebody else. I have no idea. Yeah, and so we will have the second live stream. Let me pop it up here because Serena was kind enough to write it on. There we go. Monday, the 2nd of February at 3 p.m. I hope you can make it. So, and if not, then maybe you can catch the replay. So, all right. And then I'm going, because I'm leaving to go to Africa on Tuesday. So one was B, legacy, things passed down from the past. We've had that word before multiple times in talking about death and maybe something else. Nice little repeater. Alessio has, thank you, Lorena. So Alessio has number 2 for us. He's saying C. Kaluna's got an A for me. So peer group, our peer group. So what is peer group? Anybody else want to take a guess? I've got a C, I've got an A. Who's guessing? Who's going to agree with Kaluna? Who's going to who agrees with Alessio? And what, maybe think of something else. All right, Lauren, nice to have you on board. I think you're new to A. Michaela's going with C. So Alessio's got C. I've got 2 C's and 2 A's. 2 A's and 2 C's. So A. Karina's got an A. Yelena's got an A. Okay. So for those of you who guessed A, you are correct. All right. So in this case, because these are a little bit difficult to kind of sort through, peer group is A. This is friends of the same age who spend time together. So you often look at your peers, right, for support as a teenager. Those are the people who are kind of in the same group as you are and where you spend a lot of time with, and they are your biggest influence. In fact, we have the term peer pressure, where your friends do something so you feel like you have to do it. So if they drink alcohol, you drink alcohol. If they smoke cigarettes, you smoke cigarettes. Peer pressure, peer group. These are people you hang out with. That's the difference between the other one. So number 3, influence. What can you tell me there? That should be pretty easy. For number 3, for influence. 1 was B, 2 is A. What can you tell me for number 3? Influence. All right, Lorena's saying D. Kaluna says D. Any other little guesses? Well, I think warm thoughts because it's so cold. All right, Serena says D and Alicia too. Okay, 3, D, absolutely. Yuki, you've got your groceries unpacked now and you're ready to play. All right, Michaela. So everyone's saying D. Karina too. So 3, influence, D, the power to affect someone, right? The power to affect someone. Number 4, generation gap. What is it when we talk about a generation gap? What does that mean? A generation gap. So Lorena, Kaluna, Serena have E's for me, and Alessio and Anna, Yuki. Okay, everybody's going with E. Good. Thank you guys for answering here. So generation gap, everyone says E. Big differences between young and old people. So you have a gap, you have this space. Between something. Several years ago, it was really fashionable to have a thigh gap. So your upper legs, there was a gap, there was a space. Horrible trend, but yes, a lot of pressure to have that sort of thing. But when you have a gap, it's space, the space for something. Gap is a word that we also use in Italian. Oh, really? Okay. Is that something that you took from English, or is that also Italian? Because it doesn't sound so Italian to me somehow. So more absolutely for is E. And then last but not least, we have age group, which is one that's kind of easy to mix with peer group. But remember, we said peer group from English. Okay, good. Okay, that makes sense then. The peer group is really the people you hang out with. They're the same age as you are, but they're also some people who influence you. And the difference between this, like Lorena and Anna are saying, 5 is C, age group. That's people of the same age. We're just talking about age. We have no idea if there's influencing going on or not. It's just talking about the age. 10-year-olds, 15-year-olds, 50-year-olds, an age group, for example. Okay, so moving on to talking about some questions here to talk about peer groups and things like that. I have a couple of questions to see what you have to say here. And let me see, number 3. And I need to hop over to the other side so you can see that slide. My mom, 91 years old, always says that we use too many English words. Oh yeah. All right, so she's not into it. But I have to say, I see, oh wait, hold on, I don't know what I've done here. Wrong one. This is number 2. We'll go back to this in a minute. We'll come to this in a minute. But yeah, I see it in German, actually. I think I've said before, I moved to Germany in 1996, and there were so many words that today people use English words for. So it's very interesting to see how a language shifts. But I think that's in every time, right? You know, whatever kind of is like the culture that has a lot of influence, their words are brought into the language. So it's pretty usual or common, I think. All right, number 1, here we go. So are you friends with people who are outside of your age group? And if so, what are those friendships like? Is a universal language? Yeah, at the moment it is, exactly. Jennifer, could you please put peer group and age group in a sentence? I didn't get the meaning. Okay, so the age group of the children in kindergarten, is between 5 and let's say 6. Okay, that's the age group when we're just talking about the ages. And I could say the peer group has my daughter's peer group has influenced her to watch a lot of Kim Kardashian's Keeping Up with the Joneses, Keeping Up with the Kardashians. I'm making this up. So peer group is more where you have this influence. You have more where you see eye to eye, where you have this connection. And age group is really just talking about the numbers. For me, age is just a number. There you go, Yuki. For me too. It is. Okay. So let's see. But let's say, like, do you have friends that are significantly younger or significantly older? Thank you, Alessio, for the heads up. What can you tell me? So I have a girlfriend, and she is about 10 years younger. And it's really interesting because her kids are still very young. And so we live in a different world. My kids are off to college and starting to work, and her children are still in elementary school. So there's this huge gap in where our lives are. And it's really interesting to see what's going on, what's interesting, or what her generation is kind of doing in raising kids, what's important, what's not important. And I also have friends that are significantly older. So like in their 60s and so around so early to mid 60s. And so that's also interesting because I can see, okay, what's happening like to women in this age? What can I expect? And so, yeah, I love having this big age gap between some of my friends. In fact, if I think about it, the majority of my friends are really not my age. They're either younger or older. Yes, I have friends who are older and younger. Wolfgang is 76 and Antia is 55 and Kim is 19. And it's cool, right, Carmen? Because you learn something new. It's great having like these, Yelena, you do as well. Maybe there's some things you can tell me that you have learned from having friends that are either much younger or much older. Maybe you have some things you can share. Excuse me. And while you're answering this question, then maybe what I can do is I will share my account with you, because surely there's some people here maybe in the audience right now that don't follow this account, and I highly recommend you do. If you like learning English, if you like practicing English, if you just want to listen and hear what other people say or hear what I have to say, then you can follow my account here at English with Jenn 123. And I'm here usually every week. I have a little break coming up, but we're going live next Monday. So come again if you like. And yeah, and so follow me here. I offer 2 live streams typically per week, a quiz. I offer this kind of conversation lesson, and we can all get to know each other. And if you don't mind right now, while you're watching, if you can like this, I have no idea how to do that, then that would be a great thing, because then it shows the algorithm this is kind of a cool place to be. So Michaela, you've got something, all of you have nice things that you've written. I cannot wait to hear what you've learned. So Michaela, I have a friend from Baltimore who is older than me, could be my mother. She learns Italian from me and I learn English from her. Love that, Michaela, fun. Very cool. How did you meet her? Very interesting. Yes, I have a friend. I have friends who are outside of my age group. Ding. The friendship is more like a doctor-patient relationship where either way can be the counselor or patient, where we could share our situations. Oh, that sounds interesting. Okay, so not so much a friendship. There's a little bit of a boundary, I guess, between it. Or is it that you talk to each other to try to learn from each other? I'm not quite sure what you mean by that. Karina, so you say, it is not easy to understand people from other generations, definitely, but you have to try, because that is life, always changing and taking the best of all times. Yes, agreed, very much so. In relation to the first topic, I have no friends who is outside of my age group, and it is a little bit making a same age friend. Okay, so most of your friends are the same age as you are. So Lorena, I prefer to spend my time with people younger than me, since they are open-minded, they give me energy. Yeah, it's nice to be around young people. There's a different energy. They are very open-minded. Yeah. And it forces me to stay open-minded too, and forces me to rethink things. But also the same with older people, I think, as well. I don't know. I like both. So I don't really care how old someone is. Main thing is having a good heart. From the older friends, learn to take it slow and treat myself. And from Kim, I learned slang. I mean, it's a little bit difficult. To meet friends. Okay. Well, you have friends here in this community. So yeah, we're all kind of instant friends here. Michaela, I attended an English course and my American teacher presented Patricia to me. Okay. Okay. So from your English teacher, you met Patricia in Baltimore. Fun. All right. Number 2, what have you got for me here? In what ways do you behave differently with your peer group compared to older generations? So do you act the same when you're with older generations, or do you act differently? I know some of us come from cultures where older people are sort of honored and more sort of observed in sort of a higher way in a way. And so we behave differently. And maybe some of us don't. Maybe you are just the same, but what is something you would not do or you would change if you were around someone older? My oldest friend is more than 20 years older than me. I love her very much. There are many things I have learned from her, and I think I am how she imagined her daughter would be. Oh, that's sweet. Oh, Yelena, I love that you have that. In my peer group, I can be free-spirited, yapper, and can relate. Okay, cool, Kaluna. A lot of things, and older generations repeat and must, especially, and must. Oh, so when you have to respect the speech, I guess. Generations respect is must, especially on speaking. Okay, the way that you speak, I guess. I have older and also younger friends of ski jumping lovers. Okay. I like both. However, I learn more from the oldest. Okay. Okay. Interesting. I think I learned patience from young, or not patience. I can't say that. I don't know. I don't know. I think it forces me to be more open-minded because sometimes the younger generations do things that I'm like, what are you doing? But actually it's like, no, they have every right, and it makes sense for them. It makes sense for them in their day and age. So it's all about staying open-minded, either with the older folks or with the younger ones. I think to behave in the same way, both with young and old, with old people, I am more tolerant. Okay, so more tolerant with the older ones. Yeah, I think that my language is very clean when I'm with older people. Sometimes I like an F-bomb or two, and I wouldn't do that with older people. So maybe that's the truth. Just being honest here. All right, moving on to our poll question that I popped up earlier that is now actually supposed to come. So here we go, finding our poll question. If you have anything else that you would like to add, feel free to add it. I'm going to hop over to the other side of the screen here. And, oops, sorry, not fast enough. And here we go. It is 3:33 and Peter's calling. He never calls me except when I'm in a live stream. I feel bad if I just do the hang up button. Bye, babe. Okay. So when did the internet become part of your daily life? All right. So when did it become part of your daily life? A, as a child, B, as a teenager, C, as an adult, or kind of really still isn't. So probably if everyone's here, D is probably not an option. Let's see. Sue. All right, I think I'm not sure if to learn tolerant. On the other side, I have friends who are much younger than me, and I love being around younger people. I respect older people because they are very good at giving advice about how young people can live and behave with other peer groups. That's true. There's a lot of knowledge. So as an adult, okay, we have C as an adult. We have A as a child. All right, Marin. Or Morin, I think. Morin is your name. Carmen, A as a child. So we have several A's and some C's. Definitely an older person has a lot of wisdom and many things to teach the new generations, especially to appreciate every moment because it goes by very fast. Yeah, right? The regrets that one has maybe when you're older. So everybody here is pretty much C or A. All right. And I'll add some more questions in just a moment. I had my first mobile phone after graduation in 1999. Ooh, okay. Yeah, was it a Nokia? That was like the Nokia time. Yeah, let's do this, Serena. I love this question, okay, or this point. When did you get your first cell phone? All right. When did you get your first cell phone? I think I got my first cell phone in 1999 as well, a Nokia. Mobile without internet. Yeah, and you had to do the typing SMS and then like that. Oh, yeah. As a teenager, when we're a child, we're not given a phone until we reached middle school, where we needed it to research for schoolworks. Mobile phone without internet, that was that. See, as an adult, when I was 10 years old, a Nokia 3210. I think that's how you say that. I don't know. In 1999, Panasonic, my first smartphone was in 2009. Okay. Wow, 2009. And anybody else? Oh, 2000. Oh, sorry, 2009, not 2012. Okay. All right. Me Too, 1999. I think mine was in 2000. Let's see if we can find someone earlier than 2000, than 1999. Who was 1998? Or who had one of those brick telephones? Do you remember the big white brick? Where you're like, you tried to talk on the phone like this. Yeah, it felt so like compact. I think that mine was in 2010, 2012, that was at 2002. All right. Okay, so I have some more questions. We're sticking with this topic with technology and with childhood, Anna as an adult as well. I did not have the brick. I was not rich enough to have the brick. In 1999, Yuki, for you as well. So 1999 was a big year for cell phones, I think. I think that seems like that was like the first big round. I remember getting my first cell phone when I was 9 years old. Oh, I don't agree that older people are always wiser. Young people can be wise too. That's true. There are a lot of not so wise older people. It was something that I realized when I was at university. I will not mention names or, placements in my family, but there were people that came around me and I was just like, aren't older people supposed to be wiser? Like, don't you have this moment sometimes as a young adult where you realize that not all adults are really the same or like evolved or wise or have good judgment or are kind. You just think that like adults are going to have their stuff together, and not they don't. And when you realize that, it's one of these moments I find as a young adult where you're just like, wow, okay, so there really is no Santa Claus. Okay, that sucks. So that was how it was for me. But then I was just like, okay, then I can't really just trust someone because of their age. I need to trust them because of how they behave or when in many different situations, especially towards me. So let's see. All right, hopping on over to this other side of the screen. And here we go. We have number one. We have at what age? Okay, so we have this. At what age did you first use the internet? Yes. So at what age did you first use the internet? And we could do 1 and 2 kind of together, right? At what age did you first use the internet and what was your experience like? Age simply gives you more time to accumulate experience, but not everyone uses that time in the same way. That's true. Very, very wise, Michaela. And doesn't mean that people process it in the right way. My first phone was a Nokia 2. Okay. And first time you used the internet, I remember the first time that I used the internet. I want to say that it was like 1994, 93, 94, 94, or 95. And I was so disappointed. I thought the internet was going to be the internet today is almost the way that I thought it was going to be. So like I had all of these huge expectations. Ooh, the internet. And I remember I guess it was 1994, 95. And just being like, this is it? This is it? Seriously? So don't sue me, but I was really disappointed. My family says I was born wise. Yes, some people are. I guess 1996 with Motorola, StarTech. All right. And what about internet? First time that you used internet, what was your experience? Were you amazed? Were you disappointed? What can you tell me? I just remember the screen is sort of the greenish letters and numbers and whatnot, and then ding, 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 and like, oh yeah. All right, Margarita, you said 1999. Was that the first time that you went online for the first time? Did you like it? Were you mesmerized? Probably more intelligent people than me are like, oh, this was amazing because they understood the technology behind it. But I just don't understand these things, so I just wanted it to be visually beautiful and amazing, and it wasn't. 1995, Windows 95. My dad introduced me to emails. And do you remember yes, the dialing sound? Ding, 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 dong. It was something weird like that. So I was around 25 years old and I was excited. I was super excited too, but yeah, I didn't really get it. I was like, this is it? This is what everyone's freaking out about? All right, moving on to number 3. If you're still writing about number 1 and number 2, continue, no stress, but we'll move on and we'll read your comments in a minute. Let's see, I used the internet for the first time in 2012. Oops, the computer was such big news here. Sorry, Morin, where are you actually? Where are you? Which country are you from? I remember my first email was Yahoo. Right, exactly. I had a Yahoo account as well. I did too. And I sadly gave it up for a Gmail account. My dad was like, you have to have a Gmail account. And he created one for me. And so I'm like, okay, he created it for me. So I'll switch over to Gmail. First, I used email on the PC and scrolled through different websites. It was revolutionary. I used it to get contact with my family in Japan from America. My major in college was computer science. Oh, Yuki, so then you knew all about this. So Elementate, the voice of mine. I'm not sure what that means. I'm sorry, it's back. Please help me. I think I was 15 when I started using the internet through computers. Okay. And so moving on to number 3, you're from Brazil. Okay, thank you, Morin. You're from Brazil. I'm going to write that down. I always love knowing where people are from because it gives us a little bit of, I don't know, just it's good to know these things. So Morin is Brazilian, and my pen does not want to work. Okay, Morin, Brazil. Cool. Okay, let's see. Let me scroll up here. I don't remember the exact age, but more or less in my 20s. Definitely the internet has improved communication in the world, and today these virtual classes with a real teacher are proof of that, but it should be prohibited for children under 12. Yeah, I think so too. Get outside and go. Just go, Absolutely. As a teenager, I used MSN and ICQ. That was before I had a mobile phone. In the past, I used the internet only to create something like my thesis. I often used vocabulary and books. Now I use the internet to do a bunch of things, recipes too, okay? When I started using the internet, friends started to fade away. Is Friendster is that like Facebook? Facebook was booming. Because first we had, in the States, we had Classmates, where like you could find your old classmates, and then came Facebook. Yes, okay, so Michaela, before smartphones, you called people on landlines and hoped they were home. Exactly, and then left messages on their answering machine when they weren't home. Right, so let's see. Children should be limited in their use to have opportunities to play, make friends, and be creative, definitely. And to help their social skills, right? To be able to have interpersonal skills. We said that Gen Z and the younger generations are having more and more issues with interpersonal skills. And that's what happens really when everyone is on their phone. So maybe even for parents, we need like a detox during the day where we're like, okay, this time with my kids, when they come home, then from 3 p.m. until 6 p.m., no phone. Okay, I'm really happy that phones and internet and all of that were not so like Facebook had started around 2009. My kids were already 8 and 5, I think, 6. So yeah, so I had a little bit of time where I didn't have that distraction. Number 4, what are the positives and negatives of growing up without the internet? So a lot of us here answered C, the internet came about as adults. What are the positives? What are the negatives? And if you did not grow up without internet, what do you think? Yeah, I remember with sentiment, it was a nice time with more freedom and with more face-to-face time together. I remember the saying, Yelena, as a Japanese, a small Asian island, internet opened up a door to the world. Yeah, okay. So yes, it opened up a door to, so being on an island, a small island, that opened up the world to you. Yeah, I think for many people, right? Definitely. For me as well, I've moved so much, and it opened up doors to people from my past that I kind of, forgotten. I'm like, oh yeah, I loved this person. They were great. So Carmen, before smartphones, I had to look up to our balcony. We were playing in the park and wait for my mom to wave at us to sign the dinner was ready. Okay, cool. Very cool. So Carmen had to wait for her mom to wave to her, dinner's ready, come on in. Even better, avoid their usage before 16. Yes. But you have the argument nowadays where they say, okay, children need it for projects. They need it, to be in their group chats with their peers. So yeah, there's a lot of, that's how my kids always got me. Like, but I need to know about the assignments, Mom. I'm like, dang it. So yeah, I think growing up in like the 70s and the 80s and having no internet, there was this sense of like, you were bored a lot, like really, really bored. And children today, people today, me today, I'm never bored. The second that I have a moment of nothingness, then I fill it by picking up these contraptions and looking for things and, oh yeah, I think of this and that. And I never just have this time where I'm just on my own, where I'm just thinking whatever it is that I'm thinking, that I'm not trying to see if Peter's wrong about something and trying to like prove him wrong or find something, out about the next lesson we're doing or, whatever it is. There's never this downtime. I remember being so extremely bored that I had to get creative. If I wanted to get out of my boredom, I had to deal with it. And that's just not happening. And I think that's not good for the human brain. I think a lot of good comes from when people are bored. I don't like when people give toddlers an iPad or their iPhone to play with it because they want them to be quiet. Yes, that's true. Same here. Or like at a restaurant. I understand it. Parents want to have that time to be able to talk. But then I think like, yeah, I don't know. It looks bad to me somehow. And not like in a judging way. I just feel like, I don't know. Be with your child. Don't have that child sitting there with headphones on and things are going through his head, even if they're not really listening. I don't know. Positive, a slower, calmer mental rhythm. Negative, limited access to information. Beautiful, like the positive, negatives. For me, the negative thing is you become ignorant about the news or what's happening in your country. The positive thing, you have time talking to sharing with your family and friends, right? So you're less informed without internet, but you had more time to sort of be informed with the people physically near you. I am also never bored. There is always something I can enjoy. Carmen, for me, I think it's fine to be bored or not be bored, but it should be because you're doing things you want to do. And I get sucked into this vortex of Instagram, YouTube, looking at my statistics and all of these kinds of things. And that's just not satisfying, 0%. So it will be really interesting to see when I have this sort of automatic detox for a week. Maybe I'll come back and be like, I'm just going to detox way more, or I'm going to be like, oh my God, I'm never leaving my baby alone. The easier approach to information and the whole world feels closer. For example, learning English with Jen. Yes, I love having you all here. All right, let's move on to some more vocab words. And this is more with talking about generations, and we're talking about values, work, and money. And okay, this is not really so much about generations. These are pretty general vocabulary words, but we'll work into it. So let's see. All right, let me remove this. Add our next slide. We need number 5. Okay. Negative alienation steals our time. Definitely. Could not agree more. I allow it to. I wish I had more self-control. I'm looking for self-control. And I don't know. Looking back, the internet was great impact for everyone, but the negative topics are also vicious. I think vicious. Yes. Yes. Right. And you're also fed just one narrative. I don't like that as well, because the algorithm really wants you to watch more and more. So they feed you what they think they want, that you want, but maybe you want diversity. But the internet, or the algorithm that is, doesn't know what could be good as diversity for you. So they recommend the same things over and over again. And it takes us to have the self-discipline to say, no, I want to look at this. I want to know about this. Instead of just like, okay, what are you feeding me? So even if I'm waiting at the doctor's, I'm not bored. I can daydream then. Carmen, as a child, I was so bored so often that I played this game because I would be in a specific room that I was in a lot, a living room, my dad's office, wherever it was, that I was in this room a lot. And I would sit there and I would play the game, try to find something new. So I would look around the room, I'm like, oh, there's a crack. I've never noticed that crack. Or like, okay, the papers were over here yesterday and today they're over here. So I would like play this game where I would try to find little tiny details in the room that were different from before. Bad game, loved this game, really entertained me. Anyway, we have number 1, financial security. Number 2, salary. Number 3, stability. Number 4, income. Number 5, paycheck. We have money you get regularly from work or other resources. B, the money your employer pays you for your job, usually monthly or yearly. C, having enough money to live safely. D, a situation that is safe and steady, not likely to change. And E, the money you receive from your employer, usually every week or every month. Okay, so these are our vocab words. We have 23 people here. So if all 23 people would take 1 second to like this live stream, after this live stream, I just lost one. 22. 22 people. If all 22 of you liked this live stream, it would show the algorithm that this is a cool place to hang out. So if you could take a second, I don't know if it's a big deal to do. If it is, forget it. But if you could like it, that'd be very cool. Okay, so Kalina's saying C, Yelena and Yuki are saying D. Any other ones that you have for me? I am going to put my sleeves up over my hands because it's cold. Karina's got a C, Morin and Brazil's got a C. Okay. Michaela and Margarita. And yes, okay, so for everyone who answered C, financial security is C, a situation that is safe and steady and not likely to change. Oh, sorry, hold on. Having enough money, I was like, that sounds weird. Having enough money to live safely. All right, so that is financial security. Having enough money. Everybody wants financial security. That's the main goal. All right, so thank you, Serena, keeping us on track. Yelena as well. Salary. Salary. We have 2. We have Serena saying A, Yelena saying E, Alessia saying B. So we have lots of different variations going on here. What can you tell me? For salary, which one works best? I need that. Financial security? Yeah, I would like financial security. That would be really awesome. All right. So Zebek, I think, 2B. So we have some A's, we have some B's for number 2 for salary. So if you guessed actually B, that's the one that I'm looking for here. 2B, the money your employer pays you for your job, usually monthly or yearly. When you go in at the end of the year to talk to your boss, you negotiate your salary. You try to get a salary increase. No worries, Serena. Number 3, stability. What can you tell me about stability? 1 was C, 2 is B, and 3 happens to be D. Carmen says, hello, Sadman, welcome. What do you think that number 3 is, stability? Which definition on the right here matches the best? Alessio, Serena, Yelena, all have D's for me. Serena, Michaela, wrong again. Oh no, Yuki, no worries. So, okay, stability 3 is D, a situation that is safe and steady and not likely to change. A lot of us look for stability, and having financial security gives us a sense of stability. Awesome, welcome on board. Sadman. Okay, Sadman, I'm Jen, welcome. Where are you from? Maybe you can tell us. We have a very nice international community here. We're talking about generations today, D this time. Okay. So, yeah, so welcome. We're on number 4, income. Which word works the best with income, or which definition that is? 1 is C, 2 is B, 3 is D. What can you tell me for 4? Let's hear sweet to greet, Sadnan. Bangladesh. All right, cool. All right. So we're here every week, and I offer conversation lessons every week. It's a new topic. Like I said, this week it's about generations. So yeah. So number 4. Okay, Carmen's saying E. Yuki is saying okay. Nope. Alessia's going with A. Serena's got an A for me. Let's get one more guess. Oh, y'all are so sweet welcoming him. Very sweet. E. Okay, so Yuki says E. Whoever answered 4 is A. You are correct. Income is A, the money you get regularly from work or other resources. So if I start earning income from YouTube, then that would be money that goes into what I earn. Also, I could maybe make money by offering private lessons, which I don't do, but that would also be part that would contribute to my overall earnings. That would contribute to my income. These words are often kind of like a little bit sort of synonymous in a way. So Yuki, that you're getting these wrong, don't stress. They kind of like little tiny differences between them. It's not a big deal. Last but not least, we have paycheck. Okay, paycheck. Number 5, paycheck. 1 was C, 2 is B, 3 is D, 4 is A. Yelena is saying 5 is E. And that is correct. 5 is E, paycheck, the money you receive from your employer, usually every week or every month. So quite often, sort of if you work in a restaurant or if you work in a store, you might talk about your paycheck. If you have like a job and maybe sort of a company, you often talk about your salary. There's also a little bit of that difference as well. Okay, let's take a look at a poll. We're sticking with money for a bit when it comes to how we spend things and whatnot, spend our time, spend our money. Oops, sorry, let me get rid of that. And image. So let's see, number 6. We still have a lot to do. And I'm not quite sure. I think I need to hop over. Boop. Okay, there we go. So we have here, if you get extra money, what would you do? If you get extra money, what would you do? A, save it for the future. B, spend it on fun things now. C, a little of both. Or D, hide it under my mattress just in case. And this is not so much a generational thing. This goes more into sort of your own personal thing. So yeah, this is just something different. All right, so a little of both. A little spending, a little saving. So everyone so far has answered C. And I guess it also depends on how much money. If you get extra money, what would you do? How much that extra money is. So Marion's saying save it for the future. So far, everyone, Margarita's got that. Sadman's got it for me too, is C. Everyone's going with C. No one's hiding it under their mattress. E, thank you, Alessio. Invest them. Good. It depends if I have savings or not. Okay. Karina's saying C. C, but I also like the idea of A. Save it for the future. Of D, sorry, put it in your mattress. Yes, exactly. Hide it under your mattress. I think that's like this feels like that's so like before the Great Depression, like the people who didn't put their money in the bank, or after the Great Depression, they hid it in their mattress or something like that. A and B for you, Kaluna. What was that again? Save for the future and spend on fun things right now. Okay, so done with this, and let's talk about now a little bit in regards to working and generations, okay? Because I think the different generations work in very different styles, okay? So let's talk about this. Companies should have the right to hire within an age range. Should there be like a specific thing? What are the pros and cons of being able to do this? I would save it for the future just in case. Hide it from myself, okay? No one's getting it. So the mattress turns out to be a popular place. I want to know where it's safer than. Yeah, I don't. I think the mattress seems like the obvious place. It doesn't seem very safe to me, but yeah. Buy a lot where you could build a house and a business. Okay, cool. So kind of let's take this question and play a little bit with it, and because we're moving into now sort of the topic of are we, hold on, just to make sure really quickly. Not really. Yes, with sort of jobs and work and different generations. Okay, so should companies be allowed to hire within an age range? So you have an IT firm, you have a company, and you focus on Instagram. So you definitely don't want to hire me because nothing I do ever goes viral. So don't hire me. So I have no idea what I'm doing. But then you have a lot of young people that really get this whole internet thing. So should they have the right to say nobody under 40 can work here? If you're over 40, forget it. Or if you're over 48, forget it. Or should that not be? If I won the lottery, first prize, I would use a little to enjoy now and donate some to some things and save for the future, for future needs. So a little balance there. Yeah, a little bit like with Alessio, with investing, saving, and enjoying. And donating. That's a nice one too. We hadn't had that yet. All right. Hello, Millie. Welcome to our lesson. We're talking about generations and should companies be able to say who they want to hire, make it very age specific within an age group. Should that be possible? Companies should hire a mix of people. I think a lot of healthy companies should hire a mixed age group. But I can imagine that like with now Sadman's greeting Millie. Awesome. We have a lot of nice new people. That's very cool. No, I think thanks. I think that's not okay. There are always people you need in IT that are a lot older. Okay. Yeah. So no age discrimination, I guess is what we're saying here. Okay. Then I've got some questions now we'll roll on to. If you're answering this question, continue answering, no problem. But we'll move on to our next one. Let me get rid of our banner real quick, hide this, and add our new question. We're sticking with generations. That's our topic today. And we will, let's see, image. Number 7. Okay, I've got a lot of questions for us. And I think this is pretty interesting. Moving on to work and talking about generations. So let's see. If it depends on if you need experience, if you have to get older people. In my opinion, it is better to have people for their skills. Ooh, Serena, I like that, right? Like it's not about the age, it's about the skills. Yeah, yeah. Companies should give opportunities and jobs to young people within an age range. Okay. All right, cool. Thank you everyone for sharing your opinions. Let's take a look at number 1 here, and we're talking about values and sort of work ethics, I think. So number 1, do you think some values are universal, no matter the generation? So which ones? Because we've talked a lot about the differences, how maybe millennials are more focused on experiences, how maybe Gen X's are more independent, baby boomers are very competitive, and Gen Z is, oh yeah, whatever we said. And but do you think that there are some values where we say, you know what, this is kind of universal? These are things that it doesn't really matter the generation, they're still important no matter what. What can you tell me? Oh, we still have a lot to do. We need to boogie a little bit. So I will also read question number 2. Yes, being respectful. Yeah, right. So being respectful is on top, definitely. Who here is Gen Z? We have several Gen Zers here. Are you Gen Z? Honesty, or being honest, or honesty, empathy and kindness. We have respect and honesty. Yeah, these are sort of, it doesn't matter the generation. These things just need to be key. Cool. All right. Number 2. So compassion and responsibility. Absolutely. Okay. Number 2. What value from an older generation should everyone try to keep? Okay, so let's try to think of our older generations and which ones should we try to keep? What values what values? I hope I have an S on that. What value from an older generation should everyone try to keep? Who is Kite Mac? I'm not sure where's Kite Mac. I don't know who that is. Respect is the minimum, and especially honesty, definitely. Sincerity, honesty, trust, hardworking. Yes, of course, relentless value. So relentless value meaning in the case like you never gonna give up having value. All right, so from older generations, we might want to pick certain traditions. Maybe there's something in your culture that older people do that you feel like, you know what, this is something that I hope goes on for the next generation and the next generation. So we have some things like that. We have different ethics and values that can be something that's nice, that should be carried on. Environmental and social contributions, like if I think of older generations, people didn't throw things out. You didn't throw things out. If something broke, you fixed it. But with our new generation, it has become cheaper to throw it out and get new. But actually, it's better to keep it. But companies also don't make products like they used to. So they try to sell more products, unfortunately. But like to have, I remember the days where in the United States, if you had a washing machine or you had a refrigerator, that lasted forever. Like forget it. You're going to have that for 15, 20 years at least. And then you could fix it. So I think like not throwing things away, that's something I would like to learn from older generations. If you get a hole in something that you own, have it fixed. Don't throw it out. Don't get something new. That's something that I think that I personally would really like to learn. A lot of comments coming in. So we have resilience, reliability, morality, respectability or respectfulness, let's say, respectfulness, traditional values, honesty, politeness, loyalty, not giving up on people too quickly. Ooh, that's a good one, Carmen. Some old people from older generations should try to keep the empathy and respect value. Older generation values like family, or family-oriented and patriotic. Okay, nice. All right. Skills and knowledge, like older generations, let's say the silent generation, so even before the boomers, many of them knew how to grow food. I think that's something that like would be very, I wish I could grow food. I have no idea how to grow food. If I want to eat, I have to go to a store. And that seems actually like as a human, like everybody should know how to grow their own food. It feels like something they should teach you in school because it's survival. It's like basic survival. And I think that that would be something that would be nice to have kept from previous generations. Community and relationships, taking time, actually being there for one another. I know the answer, but as English is not my first language, I cannot answer them fluently. No worries. And here at Sadman, really, the point is just to try, practice, see what you get right. I will help you with the rest. Okay? So no worries whatsoever. What about with number 3? Do you think your generation is good at saving money? Is your generation good at saving money? Maybe this is not so much of a generational thing. I don't know. The new generations have a problem called immediacy. Aha, hold on, let me go, Karina. This is going too fast. They don't know how to wait, and this works against them. I think that they look patient. They lack, sorry, I can't read. They lack patience and tolerance. I agree. It's like this now thing. I can grow food. Oh, Carmen, that's wonderful. I had a garden when I lived with my sister. In summer, every evening in the dark, I put on my bikini and watered the plants. That was fun. Okay. Not so much. 3, maybe yes. Do you think that your generation is good at saving money? Okay. I think that many Gen Xers are good at saving money. I heard that if you bought all iPhones from the beginning, you spent 22,000 euros, I guess. If you invested the same amount in Apple stock, you have 320,000. That's the difference between consumer and owner. Ooh, mic drop. Very cool. Okay. Wow. So don't buy the product, buy the stock. Invest in the company and not the item. Use something cheaper and then be richer. This is very cool advice. I think my generation is not good at saving money, but also you get less for your money and we earn less. So yeah, we have to save. I don't think so. We tend to spend a lot of money, not so because a lot of online shopping nowadays. Yeah, that's true. It's hard. Okay, and Sebek is right here too, right? It's a personal thing. Some people are good. Sometimes it's saving money, sometimes not. So maybe it's not a generational thing. Not all of my generation think about it before saving money because some of them think it is easy to gain money, so to earn money. Sometimes they spend it on bad things. It depends. I'm just going to check really quickly to see. Okay, I don't know why somebody's ringing the doorbell. It depends. Okay, it depends. All right, so let's see. So let's take a look at number 4, right quickly. Do younger generations like millennials and Gen Z change jobs more often than other generations? Why? Actually, we know the answer to this. We don't need to say yes or no. Maybe you can tell me, why do Gen Zers and millennials change jobs more often than older generations? Why do you think this is? Let's see. The lack of patience and the desire for quick solutions lead the new generation to seek magical or chemical solutions that harm their health and their minds. Okay. Where are you reading those comments? I cannot see. Oh, you can't see the comments. Can everybody see it? Can everyone see the comments? I hope you can. I don't know why. Let me see. That's weird. I have a question mark next to your name. I don't know why. Hold on, let me see. Delete comment, put user on timeout. No, banned person. No, I don't know, sweetie. I'm not sure. Oh gosh, now I don't know what I'm doing. All right, hold on. I'm clicking all kinds of crazy things here. Anyway, I don't know why that's the case. You should be able to see the comments. but there is a question mark next to your name. I don't know why. I've never seen that before. I growed a lot of kind of vegetables myself. It's not saving money, but for fun and healthy living. Okay. Yes, Yuki, you always grow nice things. Younger people are more courageous and they know what they want, respect themselves more. Okay, so that's why they're like, I'm here today, I'm gone tomorrow, I don't care. I'm not planning for the next 50 years. Yes, when you are young, it's easier to change jobs. You are more adaptable. Absolutely, good vocab word, because the short-term contracts could be that. Carmen, because we are all replaceable and AI is replacing a lot of work. Also a fact, I learned from them and strongly suggest to change. You improve your skills, get out of your comfort zone, increase your salary. Yes. Okay. Cool. Thank you, guys. Let's move on to our next question here. And let's see. I have a nice little poll question for you. And where are we? Number 8. I have to keep a little bit of an eye on the time because I have a hair appointment before we leave and I have to make it there. All right. So what is your ideal work schedule? Is it 9 to 5 every day, same routine? That's your comfort zone. B, flexible hours whenever you want. C, part-time, work enough to pay the bills. And D, work from a beach somewhere, please. All right. And I see younger generations prefer to work according to their hobbies. Yeah, like drawing and arts, which is good for them. Absolutely. Maybe because they're impatient, they're used to fast solutions or somehow spoon-fed things. Maybe. I don't know. I don't want to say that. So Carmen says C. She's digging me out of a ditch here. Thank you, Carmen. What is your ideal work schedule? Part-time, work enough to pay the bills. Not killing yourself for your job. You want to be able to just work, pay your bills, have freedom. How else, what would you say? So Yelena, you're saying D, work from the beach somewhere, please. Lorena, B or C, flexible hours and part-time to pay the bills. Sadly, but honestly, A. Well, I think, I'm A as well. I don't know. No, I'm not A. I'm not A. I think work every day, like work really hard every day, but from wherever I want, whenever I want. Okay, I want sort of a mix, a hybrid answer here. So Marianne's saying, Serena's D from the beach, dream. Morin says C or B. Okay. Kaluna, A for me, fixed schedule. A lot of people need that, right? You need the fixed schedule. I'm here. I know where I need to be. Hello, goodbye, and that's it. Bye. It's nighttime here. I will come again. Looking forward to have you back here, sad man. Sleep well. Alessio, kind of D. Okay, work from a beach somewhere. Yeah. Michaela, B or D, flexible hours, and from the beach. All right, the best of both worlds. All right, let's take a look at some idioms and talking about communication. And I think that some of these we might have had before and others not so much. So it will be interesting to see which ones are repeaters. And let's see, we need number 9. And I will hop over to here and doop. Oh, sorry. Nope, not there. There. All right. So number 1, to get your point across. Number 2, beat around the bush. 3, call a spade a spade. 4, have a way with words. And 5, get something off your chest. This area on your body is your chest. So your lungs are in your chest. Or your chest, or your lungs are in your chest. And then our definitions right here, we have speak honestly and directly, even if it sounds blunt. And blunt is another way of saying direct, like harsh, direct. So not softening something. B, talk about something clearly so others understand. C, avoid talking about the main issue. D, be good at expressing ideas or feelings. And E, feel better after talking about a problem. All right. So number one, what have we got for get your point across? And Karina, I don't know if you're answering our poll or if that is your answer for number one, but I'm going to say Karina's going with B. What other answers have we got? Lorena's saying one is B. Any other answers? To get your point across. Get your point across. All right, Lauren's going with B, I guess. Okay, good. It's good to guess. Absolutely. Alessia's saying B, Yelena is saying B. So absolutely, get your point across. Number one, Serena, you are so correct. Talk about something clearly so others understand. You need to get your point across. So when you want to explain something clearly. All right, and it's doing it in a way that is not, it's kind of neutral, if you will. What about number two, to beat around the bush? This is what a lot of British people do and Americans, but British more than Americans, I would say, even more, let's say, to beat around the bush. So Serena says C, Kaluna says A, Yelena C, Lorena C. Let's get one more answer. Maybe. All right. So 2E, thank you, Zivek, and Warren saying C. All right, so here we go. So number two, beat around the bush. C, avoid talking about the main issue. Americans do this, British people do it. You kind of go, would you, could you, should you? You know, it's like, you don't just say, I need you to, this needs to be done tomorrow. You say, if you have the time, could you please find a way to make sure that this is done by tomorrow? So you beat around the bush. You don't talk about it directly. You beat around the bush. It's considered a form of being polite and being less direct. In Germany, where I live, it's direct. I need this done by tomorrow. Please have it on my desk. Done. No beating around the bush. All right, number three, call a spade, which we definitely had this pretty recently. I can't remember exactly when and or why, but three, Serena's saying is A, and this is what I like to do for those of you who are new to our lesson today. We always repeat at least a couple of idioms so that we can actually have a chance to remember them. So 3A, opposite meaning. Call a spade. Cute, Yuki, I like that. Exactly. Okay, so 3 is A, absolutely. Like Yuki said, the opposite is speak honestly and directly, even if it sounds blunt. So if somebody's being horrible, you're being horrible, right? You just call a spade a spade. You say something like it is. Then let's see. Number 4, to have a way with words. What do you think what answer that is? Number 1 is B, 2 is C, 3 is A, 4 is D, Lorena says. Okay, I think I'm gonna have to chop a little bit of this. All right, D, exactly. So for D, here we go. For D is, yes, to be good at something, to have a way with word, to be good at expressing ideas or feelings. Some people have a way with words where everything that comes out of their mouth is like poetry, like Obama. He was a very good orator. He had a really great way with words. So last but not least, number 5, to get something off of your chest is to feel better after talking about a problem. Quite often when we have a problem, we can feel it weighing down on us. And the second that we talk about it, it's like, you feel like the weight of the world has lifted off of your shoulders, and because you got that thing off of your chest. So yeah, hello to you. Oh, hold on, Satyam, welcome. You seem to be new here as well. Exactly. 5 is actually E. 5 is E, to speak honestly. No, hold on. Where am I? To feel better after talking about a problem. Okay, so let's see. We need to figure out, because we don't have so much time. I need to leave in a little bit, and we have a lot of different stuff to cover here. So I'm curious about this one. So let's do this poll question really quickly. This will be our last poll question for today. And let's see, and then we have some idioms and maybe a set of conversation questions. I have to shorten our lesson just a little bit. All right, so number 10, hopping to that. No, that's not number 10. That's number 10. Okay. All right. Also, Eminem has a great way with words. Yeah, he has a wonderful way with words. Did you see the video where he says he gets angry when people say nothing rhymes with orange? No. If you find that, send that to me. I think that would be very funny. No stress, but if you have the time. So let's see. How do you usually react when you get a phone call? All right. Do you A, I answer immediately. Hello. B, I wait and see who it is. A little selective here. C, I let it ring and text instead. Or D, I feel stressed and hope it stops ringing. Just go away. Thank you, sweetie. Thank you, Carmen. So how would you answer? So A, B, C, or D. Yuki says B. I wait and see who it is. A little selective here. So Lorena, I answer immediately. Alicia, wait and see game. C, I hate calls so bad I let it ring and text instead. B from Michaela, wait and see. So A and D. I think that's A and D from Zebek. Okay. I got a telephone. I have a telephone phobia. So B and D. I hate it when the phone rings. It always stresses me out. I'm like, don't call me. Don't, no. Text me. Send me a carrier pigeon. I don't know, but don't smoke signals, a telegram. But no, don't call me. Yikes. All right. So a lot of people are doing the wait and see game. Wait and see who it is, and then go from there. If the phone number is not regular to mine, then I let it ring and wait for their text to introduce themselves. Okay, so you wait up to see who it is, and then you might see if you're going to call them back. But I was kind of curious about this because I think that classically we say now that Gen Zers are not big answering the phone types of people. And as a Gen Xer, I relate big time. Honestly, I hate to use the phone. See, Serena, I used to do this at work a lot, and now I prefer to choose if I want to answer or not. I can't stand people who don't reply. Okay, but like reply or answer the phone right away. Like you're calling, and if they don't answer, you're annoyed, or it's more like then they don't call you back or something like that. Okay, so Simon, you're saying B. Wait and see who it is. All right, let's move on to a set of idioms that are related to sort of like, this is a nice little set of different generational types of idioms. So let's see, number 11, and I'm in a nice spot here for our idioms. Answer the phone back right away. Oh, okay. All right. So number 1, set in your ways. Number 2, on the same wavelength. 3, old school, and 4, old habits die hard. And our answers are A, understand each other easily, B, traditional and not modern, C, unwilling to change how you do things, and D, it is difficult to change behavior. So, number 1, set in your ways, match them please with these down here. Which one works best with set in your ways? What can you tell me? And I'm going to look really quickly here and see what I'm going to sort of move to the side. Hey, Kaluna, dear. Welcome. How would you answer number 1? Which one works best with set in your ways? Number 1, A, B, C, or D? Michaela's saying C. Who agrees with Michaela? Okay, I know which one we're going to do, which set of questions. So what can you tell me? So Siam saying C, awesome that you're participating so nicely. Alessio's got a C for me as well. So yes, set in your ways is C, unwilling to change how you do things. Typically, we say this for older generations. You're set in your ways. You're not open to change. This is something that I have to like work on myself, that I don't become set in my ways. Don't want to do that. I want to be flexible. Alessio keeping us on track. 2, on the same wavelength. Kaluna's saying A, Alessio's saying A. Anybody else say A? On the same wavelength. 1 is C, and 2, absolutely, Serena, is A. Understand each other easily. So if you're on the same wavelength, you've got good chemistry. You understand each other. You just sort of vibe together. New vocab, okay, cool. Because these are all ones that we really use. So yeah, so Yuki, as a little extra, so homework assignment, if you want it later on, I don't know how much you're cooking this week, but you're more than welcome to use any of these in sentences later on, and so during the week. Number 3, okay, so we have old school, Alessio saying B, Serena saying B, Kaluna saying B, Lorena saying B, Sayama, is that a T? Satyam, excuse me, Satyam. Satyam saying B. Is it different from on the same page? Ooh, they're similar. They're very similar, Michaela. Definitely very similar. We're on the same page. We're on the same wavelength. Same. All right, so 3B, so absolutely old school, B, traditional and not modern. And last but not least, old habits die hard. So talking more again about this sort of not being able to change, it is difficult to change behavior. Old habits die hard. It's hard to stop smoking. So maybe you every once in a while smoke a cigarette. Old habits, it's hard to old habits die hard. Something of that nature. All right, so moving to our last set of questions. And then I'm going to go and cut and color and do this thing before we leave for 2 months. So next time, actually, we'll have our lesson on Monday, just as a repeater. Monday at 3 p.m., we'll have the second half of our lesson. See eye to eye? Yeah, super, Alessio. You're always good with this. Love that. Absolutely. See eye to eye on the same wavelength. What was the other one we just had? Dang it. On the same page. Exactly. On the same page, see eye to eye, have the same wavelength, all the same sort of, we're all kind of vibing together. You have an appointment? I do. Desperately needed. So, okay, last little set of questions for today, which I think is a nice way to end our lesson. And yeah, this is a good one. So let's see. Set of 3 questions, and let's see, I need slide number 13, and I need to hop over to here so that we can see it. Okay. All right, number 1, what worries do you, I'm sorry, name an event. Oh, no, I don't want to do that one. No, I want to do number 12. No, sorry. No, we need slide number 12. There we go. All right, name an event that helped define your grandparents' generation. So think about your grandparents and what was an event, either in news, something that happened in your country, something that you can tell that shaped or defined your grandparents' generation. So my grandparents' generation, World War II, definitely. Maybe even the moon landing, World Wars, right, Carmen? What else can you tell me? Really, whoops, ma'am, you teach very nice. Oh, I'm glad that you're enjoying this lesson. I hope you come and join more. I think it's super cool. You're brand new, you're participating. That's exactly the way you need to do it. That's very, very cool. So thank you for being part of our little, experience here. So colonization, okay. Moon landing and TV, all right, Karina. Martial law, oh my goodness, okay. That's tough. Death of Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley. World War. Do you mean climate change? I'm not sure. Freedom of India. Okay, freedom of India. Your grandparents experienced that. People power revolution. Freedom of India, again. Okay. All right, so the number 2, and if you're still writing, go for it, no stress, just continue doing it. We will read it as we go along. Number 2, we have name something that that makes your generation different from your parents' generation. All right, so name something that makes your generation different from your parents' generation. And I would say something that was different than my parents' generation is that we, in the States at least, we moved in with our partners before we got married. And in my parents' generation, they had to get married before they would move in with each other. Yelena, First and Second World Wars. So yes, in Europe, a lot of people had both of the world wars, as my grandparents' Second World War generation. Okay. So something that makes your generation different from your parents, something that you did differently than your parents did. Sunscreen. Okay. Yeah, maybe. That is so hilarious. But it makes sense. Nobody wore in the 80s, we didn't wear sunscreen. I guess that's changing. I used to put like oil on my skin to fry it. Do not abuse children in the past. Parents used to give children severe beatings. Yes, okay. So technology, absolutely, another great answer. Anybody have anything else that they would like to share with me? Playing with your children, right? So also, yeah, definitely. Children, back in the day, hold on, I think we have this. Yes, so we can kind of go into number 3 as well, Serena. You can still answer number 2, but also we'll kind of add number 3 because you're kind of putting it on the plate here for us. People used to say children should be seen and not heard. What does this mean? Rock and roll. My parents' generation thinks if you go to a therapist, you are completely gaga. Right. Yes. Parents. So it used to be that if you did that kind of thing, then and nobody would tell anybody if they did, right? And nowadays everyone's like, oh yeah, I go to a psychiatrist, I go to a psychologist, oh, my therapist. Nobody cares anymore. I think that's a really good thing. New rock and roll also. Okay. Does anybody else have anything else they would like to share? And what about this whole concept? And we have such a huge variety of people here. Maybe in your country, it is still the case where you have children are seen and not heard. Or maybe it's never been that way. Maybe you can give us a little bit more of an insight as to how that is in your country. Talk openly about mental health, emotions, personal struggles. This is so much better now. So much better. And I think especially for men, because I want to say, I think women also, of course, but women, with your friends, you talk about these things, right? Even when it wasn't okay, right? But you had a best friend that you could talk to about your problems. But men internalized so much. And now it's way more open for everyone to be more open about these matters. Taking vacation abroad. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good one. I love that. In the past, you traveled in your country. You are not going anywhere. You are not going to Africa like I am. That's not happening. Yeah, absolutely. That's definitely changed too. What about our last question? Anybody have anything that they would like to add to this with children being seen and not heard? What it means and how are children treated differently nowadays? What can you say? So Karina, children should always be listened to. They are like little sponges where everything leaves a mark. We must give them a lot of love and patience because they will later become the new generation. Yeah, definitely. Exactly. I think so. And I tried with my child, with my son, that is. I didn't really want him to hear the word no. Peter always makes jokes about how horrible that is. So when he was younger, I tried not to use the word no a lot. I wanted him to discuss with me, like, let's figure this out together. And we had a neighbor upstairs who would watch him sometimes. And she was an elderly lady, love her. She was our tanta, our aunt. And she would say 9, 9, 9. So no to him all the time. And so he came home and the only word he really loved, of course, was 9. So he said 9 to everything. So much so that my sister called him Little Niner, because that's all he would say. So I tried to teach him to talk about his emotions and his feelings and what he wanted. And he came back with 9, with no. But I tried. And it was kind of a crazy idea. Didn't try with my daughter. Agree with Karina, leave your safe job and grow. Be a dog mother. What? It means Children are expected to behave quietly, not interrupt adults, not express their opinions openly, basically to stay in the background. Exactly. That's what that means. I think children should be seen and heard. We should not impose some values we get on because their generation is different now. It may be too strict for them or outdated. That's the point. Children have more freedom now, at least it should be like this. Children and parents are like friends nowadays. It's a great point. I have to say, I think that there needs to be a bit of a balance. For me, I think that in the past it was too much this way, and today it's too much this way, and something in the middle. Because you have so many kids that don't really respect people that are older or feel like that everything should revolve around them, because many parents allow their universe to be only about their kids. I know this is a cultural thing, don't shoot me. Some cultures, that's absolutely how it's done. But for me, my opinion, I think something in the middle is healthy, where kids are seen and they're heard, but when it makes sense. And not like when little Johnny runs in the room, I'm having a conversation with someone else and I need to stop and listen to little Johnny. No, little Johnny needs to wait. And then when this conversation is finished, then yes, little Johnny, what's up? But I'm kind of weird like that, probably. It's very old school. But yeah, I agree, something in the middle. By the way, greetings from Germany. Karina, nice. You're new here too. Where are you in Germany? So I'm in Hamburg. I think we are communicating with each other, and that's a very interesting way. I appreciate it a lot. Well, you're welcome. I'm very happy to be able to offer this lesson and that you all show up and participate and share what you have to say. If I may be so extraordinarily bold and horrible, if you could please follow this account if you're not. English with Jenn 123. Please also like this. I know it's annoying and I hate saying this, like, hype, but if you can, then it just kind of tells the algorithm that this is a cool place to be. We would love to invite with our good energy more people who are like this. Like us, who want to share things. So I would be very grateful if you could share this account, like, follow, subscribe, rewatch. I don't know. Anyway, I'm happy you're all here. I hope to see you next week. I will repeat this again. We will go live next week on Monday, not our normal time, but I'm going to be traveling to Tanzania. And so I will not be able to conduct a lesson on Tuesday and on Wednesday. I will have a bit of a break because we'll be on safari and not have Wi-Fi. I'm so freaked out. And I'll have to like play my game where I look for different things in the room, break out the old games. And yeah, so I hope to see you on Monday at 3 p.m. I will go live with Mike on Iwa at 12, from 12 to 1. You know what? Let me just double check that. Anyway, I think it's 12 to 1 or 1 to 2. Anyway, 3 o'clock, we've got a date. Let's save the date. And we will talk about the movie, The Notebook. So if you've not seen that old movie, that old, sad, romantic movie, enjoy Africa. Thank you, darling. Always great to have you all here. Thank you so very much. Love to having you on board. Hallo to Karina. Viele Grüße aus Deutschland. Grüße dich auch zurück. See you on Monday. Okay, cool, guys. Take care. Bye.